pulling Ryan onto the call. That was really, really cool, and hopefully a lot of you had a chance to listen to him last week. So this is Matt, and I will not kid you. I am a little bit tired. I've just traveled, I think, almost all the way around the world, and just got back to my house about 15 minutes ago. So tired but excited, and it's good to be home. But wanted to share a little bit about my trip the past week, and then we have a special guest speaker, and then, of course, talk about just what's happening coming up. But, we just had a lot of time to reflect when I was flying, around on all these flights. Like, yesterday we were in Dubai, and the flight from Dubai to Washington, D.C. was 14 hours, and then another 6 hours from D.C. to San Francisco, and then San Francisco back home. But, it's just amazing how many people there are and how big this world is and how many people are looking for an opportunity and how fun it is to be able to afford to travel the world, and everyone, almost everyone, I guess I should say, if you ask them, hey, what would you do if money were no object? What would you do if you won the lottery? Almost everybody says travel. And I don't think there's a more fun way to travel than with your Vima business because, if you travel, let's just say you go there just with your wife or whatever or friends, it just there's just a few of you. But when you go with Vima, you get to a city and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that have a common bond. And, man, it is just something else to just be able to go from one city to the next, doing events, having fun. I just wish this experience for all of you as soon as humanly possible. It is just an absolute blast. Now, I have to say the highlight of the trip was the South Africa. That team in South Africa is amazing, and of course Cliff Braun has done his magic there. Just the well-trained team, the audience participation. I mean, it was some of the best energy I've felt in a crowd in a long time, and it was so fun to be there with Cliff. And then I know he just came off of a weekend event here in Southern California, which I've heard nothing but good things about. But just, before I introduce Cliff to share some of his thoughts about this event this weekend and what's going on, kind of get your calendars out. Cliff and I are going to be doing a Super Saturday here in Vegas on April 5th. So for the next, 2 Saturdays from now, April 5th, any of you on the West Coast that want to come into Vegas for a little pre-convention Super Saturday, we had a great one a couple weeks ago, so we're going to be doing that again, mostly here for the local team, but a lot of people from Arizona and California came in. So April 5th. And that's up on Verve Central in the events section. You can register for a whopping $10. And then we throw a party afterwards here at the house, and it's just sort of like a really nice way to come and expand your new people's vision, get them trained, and get out here to an event. So Cliff and I will be doing that along with several others on April 5th. And, man, there's a lot of beeps coming in. Glad to hear everybody coming on the call. And you're just in time because I'm about ready to introduce our first speaker. And so, Cliff, help me out here, brother. Tell me what's going on. Tell people what happened at that event. And I'm going to just sit here and rest for a second and listen to you. And I'll turn the call over to you.
Well, awesome. Thanks for having me on the call. And it was so great having you in South Africa. I mean, people were just blown away. And we've just been really, really lucky. The first year in South Africa was really difficult, but now we've picked up momentum, and we've got people coming out to visit. And, of course, as always, everybody was like, oh, my God, Matt's the best. He's the greatest. And it was really cool. I think what everybody walked away with from Matt being in South Africa was just belief, confidence, and enthusiasm. And I think those are the three things that Matt embodies and has captured so well. Is just like, it's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. So, I mean, that's like the biggest thing I got from Matt, just go out there, live a positive life, just do stuff. It was freaking awesome. So thank you so much, Matt, for coming out to Cape Town. That was so cool, and it was just so fun to, hang out with you and walk around, and, you didn't get attacked or robbed, and no lions bit you, and, it was a good trip. So
I did almost get bit by a lion, but I went on a safari, and I got way too close to a lion. I tell you, those people are crazy.
Isn't that nuts? It's like you're in a Jeep, and it's totally open, and there's a lion 5 feet from you.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's okay. I've seen enough. Let's move on from there, But anyway.
I remember the first safari I went on, I felt the exact same way. I was like, this is insane. But that's cool, man. I'm really glad that you guys came out and you got to do that. And, you know, the thing that I got out of the event here is how hot BK's girlfriend is. Oh, my God. I mean, like, in the brochures, she's pretty, but in person, she's even prettier. And I just looked at BK, and I was like, you are such a stud. And BK was talking about how each one of us is the CEO of our own life, and how we totally control our life. You wake up in the morning, and you decide, okay, today my company is going to go left. Today my company is going to go straight. Today my company is going to turn right. Today my company, and he just talked about how everything is a choice. And I think that's the number one thing I got from BK, was just how, like, it's up to you. I mean, you can totally change your life. And he's like, guys, you are the CEO of your own life. I'm the CEO of my own life, and it's up to us to create it. And he talked about how about 20 years ago he walked away from his job, and the person said, you're going to regret it, and you're going to be back. And BK said, I'm just so glad I made the decision to do my own thing. And then Luke Wilborn was so good. I mean, that guy is as good on stage as he is good looking. And I just really admire him and his wife and their kid and their family unit. I mean, they're just so badass. And Luke Wilborn was up there on stage, and he said, life is like a pendulum. And he said, the farther you swing it into discipline, the farther it swings back into reward. And that just created this visual in my mind that I've never heard that before. And once you've been in the industry as long as we've been, you kind of start to think like, oh, I've heard it all. And I've never heard that before. And he said, so many people, it's comfortable to just have your pendulum kind of dangling in the middle. And he's like, of course, you're not pushing it into discipline, but it doesn't swing into reward. That was cool. Anthony Powell showed up as just kind of a surprise, and he was awesome, as always. And he just talked about how we're going to $1 billion and how big it's going to be, and he's just such a stud. BK talked about how he was in the car with Anthony Powell, and Anthony saw The Office, and he's like, that's it. And we've got The Office launching. Is it on the 31st, Matt? Is that right? I think it's on the 31st is the grand opening of our new office.
You know, I don't know, to be honest with you. I've been out of the country for so long, I'm out of touch. But BK told me to come and check it out, and I know it's sometime in the next week or so. So, but there's like a big launch party. Is it at the? You know, I really have no clue, Cliff. I'm sorry. I'll make a Facebook post about it though, and I'm sure most people on the line probably already do know.
Yeah. I'm almost positive it's the 31st. You know, Lauren Brayco and Karen Brayco, I could not believe how many people were at this event. And I remember Nate was telling us, he's like, yeah, I'm going to put together this event. And I was like, dude, you're nuts. Like, why put all that effort into that? And he pulled it off. He got Anthony Powell, BK Brayco, Lauren Brayco, Karen Brayco, Michelle Barnes, myself, Jeff Weisberg, Luke Wilborn. I mean, it was just nuts. Like, the event could not have gone better. It was totally packed. They had product. I had my book there. I am officially a celebrity. I'm officially famous. It was like the coolest thing ever. I mean, I was just signing autographs, and people were in line for the book. And it was such a humbling experience. Well, I mean, it was also just totally awesome, yeah. But it was so humbling because people were coming up and they're so excited and they can't wait to get a picture and an autograph. And all I could think of is I just want to work harder to make sure that I deserve it and that I can help people. And I was just really, it was a humbling experience. Everybody was so cool. Everybody got along. People from other teams. So the book did really, really well. We sold out of the books. Everything was awesome. We're going to sell the books at convention. We're going to do a book signing party. So the book is going really well. I was actually second place to GoPro. If you guys check out Amazon.com, it updates every hour based on sales. So the lowest I've dropped out of 12,764 books, the lowest I've dropped is 16, and the highest I've been is number 1 and number 2, bouncing back and forth with GoPro. Anthony Powell said something really cool on stage, and this was unexpected. He got up on stage, and he's like, GoPro is an awesome book. He's like, but it's not as good as Cliff's book, Social Marketing, and if we're going to support a book, let's support one of our own. And the whole crowd went nuts, and like everyone that bought a book held it up, and they took a picture, and, you know, I'm just super blessed that, you know, Matt, you published the book, and if it wasn't for you, it never would have happened. You and Casey have just been like, you guys really championed it, and if it wasn't for you guys, it never would have happened. So thanks, everybody, for buying my book. You guys are so cool. The event was awesome. The event could not have been better. If you weren't there, you totally missed it. But it just reminds me of how awesome convention is going to be. This is going to be a convention like no other convention. I mean, it's going to be over 10,000 people. And you think about the rank advancements and the energy. I've got 10 people flying in, 5 from Australia, and they were signed up by the South African team. and 5 people from South Africa. So we got Graydon Boswell, we got Sean Nels, we got Chad Douglas, we got Craig Christensen, we've got Kat. We've got so many people. I just can't believe. It's like I thought I was going to have 1 or 2 people fly in, and all of a sudden people kept texting me, I'm flying in, I'm flying in, I'm flying in. So we've now got 10 people from the South Africa team, 5 of them that are in Australia, flying in for the convention, book signing party, rank advancements. My cycles are higher than they've ever been in my career, and I just could not be more excited. And I'm stoked that Matt is back. I'm going to be here in California for the next 8 days. I'm going to be staying in Camarillo with Brian Staben, Presidential Elite Team member, and I'll be doing meetings, trainings, conference calls, Skypes. I'm available 24/7 for the next 8 days. I want to make sure that we all rank advance twice. We're going to pin skip. Everybody's going to rank advance twice before convention. We're going to make it happen. I'm available. Hit me up, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll be in LA for the next 8 days, and then I will be going to the launch in Arizona. Super excited about that. Get to see my dad, hang out with PK a little bit, and then I'll be at Matt's house for the whole rest of the time. I'll be hanging out with Matt. We're going to do our event. We're going to do convention. And just to wrap it all up, I just want to thank Matt again for helping me just in my career and life with the book and just everything. Matt, you're my best friend, my business partner, and I love you, buddy.
Oh man, Cliff, you're on fire. No wonder your business is doing so well. I sure appreciate it. Feelings mutual, bud. And congrats on the book. You got her done, man. That is, you inspired me. I actually started working on mine again. Now I got to get mine out. I can't let you be better than me. That you know how competitive we are. So, yeah, and then the other thing I wanted to say was Peter Kim just texted me, and then that launch party is the 31st, so if you want to plug in, come and see the new office. BK says it's just mind-blowing, and the people that I've talked to that have seen it are really impressed. So 31st, the Mojo home office launch party. Cliff will be there. I more than likely will not be there because I will be in Dallas, Texas, doing another Texas tour, the 31st, which is a Monday, and the 1st, which is a Tuesday. So I'll be in Fort Worth on Monday and Dallas on Tuesday. So busy as always, lots going on. We got Dallas, then the 5th, April 5th here, and then, of course, we've got convention. So there's a lot happening. Luke Wilborn, you mentioned him, Cliff. I was really impressed with him last time he did a speech, and he just talked about, results not typical. It's like, who wants to have typical results? Like, who's typical? And, he is a great speaker, and that's a really good, I wish I would have heard that talk. I'm sure it's available somewhere in this day and age on YouTube, but those pendulums swinging it towards discipline, and then it just swings the other way. But that kid's awesome. It's fun to see a lot of these young kids, their checks just going through the roof, and Vima as a whole going crazy. Lots of fun, and everybody, I just encourage you to have your best week ever. I'm glad to be back home. I don't think I'm going to move here for a few days, and although I am doing one Skype after the next tonight, and that's all I got. Man, the beeps are... Hold on one second. What? Oh, yeah. No, I didn't tell them that. Thank you. There's one other thing before you go, and for those of you who just joined us, this is important too. So for my team on convention weekend, I'm going to be doing a flyer on this, and it's going to I'll be passing out at convention. But Friday night, there's going to be the YPR night, but I'm going to be doing an open house at Verve Central. Cliff's going to be there signing books. So we're going to have a little party at Verve Central on Friday night. And then for those of you that want to stay through Sunday on convention, Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we're going to have a pool/barbecue/recognition/fun party at my house Sunday night after convention. So if you haven't booked your airfare out of convention on Sunday night and you want to stick around for my party, it's going to be on Sunday night at the house. So wanted to get that out there. And Cliff, anything you'd like to add in closing?
Yeah, I just wanted to recognize a few people. My brother David Braun has really stepped up, and he's doing a phenomenal job. Royce flew all the way in from Canada, met with BK, and filmed a really cool video with BK all about new markets in Canada and, some stuff they're doing with the reservation. So I thought that was really cool. We've been getting so much love from corporate on this side of the company that I haven't seen in a long time. I hung out with Mark Patterson after the event, me and Margaret and Michelle Barnes. We hung out until, late, and Mark was just so cool and so nice. And BK has just been showing us a ton of love on Facebook and Instagram, and returning all my messages and phone calls. David Braun just doing a phenomenal job, really stepped it up. He's got a new guy named Ryan O'Connelly, who's doing a phenomenal job. He signed up like 22 silver packs. So Royce is crushing it. Ryan is crushing it. Rome has really stepped up. We just got a lot of people, Will, that have stepped up recently, and I'm just excited. It's all happening together at the same time, which is making a big impact. So lots of big stuff happening. Nate, just everyone stepping up at the same time is freaking awesome. So I'm amped. Numbers have never been bigger. I had like 8 people rank events this RA, so I just couldn't be more excited.
Yep, very cool. Well, I remember when Nate said to me, he said, "Well, I'm going to put an event on in March, and I'm going to have 500 people there." And I was like, "Wow, that's ambitious, Nate." And sure enough, he did it. And it's interesting when you put a big fat goal out there, it tends to happen. I mean, I remember when I said I'm going to be making $100,000 a month, and 18 months later, it happened. It's like, what do you want to make happen? Just go out there and make it happen, and use that discipline that Luke Wilborn talked about there via Cliff here tonight. And I think that's a great way to end it. Just like hey, have some discipline this week. Talk to more people. Do more events. Make it happen. Set big goals, and you got plenty of events and plenty of momentum to plug into and plenty of support. Let's take advantage of Cliff being here for the next 45 days or so. And I appreciate the large attendance on the call tonight, and I'm glad to be back in the good old US of A. So with that, thanks, Cliff, for helping out, and everybody have a great week, and I will talk to you all soon.
Awesome. Good night, guys.
Bye.